Good day, comic fam. Comics of the Voice here. Today I want to talk about goals. Goals from last year, whether I achieved, and then goals for the upcoming 2024. So let's talk about it. Stay tuned. Good day. The Voice here. I want to talk a little bit about goals. Now, I've been back in comic books, kind of like everybody else, in, out, in, out, in, out. Life intervenes. I've been back since 2016 or thereabouts and getting real serious, about 2018, 2019. I started watching a bunch of channels, Reggie Collects included. He was one of the first, the OG channels that I started watching him, Gem Mint. And from Reggie's channel, like I've gleaned a lot of information from a lot of channels over the years. But the one that really got me was when Reggie was talking about doing, setting yourself goals, right? You need to set yourself goals and it can kind of maximize your enjoyment of the hobby. And ever since I've been setting myself goals, and that was probably 2019, 2020, you guys can correct me in the comments. I can't remember when he's been talking about it a lot. Plus it's also on the Discord channel too. You can put in your goals and you can look at other people's goals and see what they do. So I can't really speak towards what other people are doing for their goals, but I can talk about my goals because I know what I'm doing. And this kind of carries on from when I've been a manager in a few companies that I worked for. And I would go into work every day and I would just set myself a couple of goals to get through the day. And that's the thing that I learned too. You don't have to set a gazillion big massive list. It could be little as one item or you could have 20 or whatever. But the important part of setting yourself goals, or what I found with me, is make them achievable. Don't have ridiculous fantasies because that's a whole other category. We're talking goals that you can accomplish, ones that are feasible. And you got to really stop and think about it. So I'm going to go through, I got them on a Word document, but I sat and wrote them down because things I make my list every week. And I'm going to go through and just talk about the goals that I did for 23 and what I've kind of set for 24. And I only do 5. That's it. And maybe it might be less at some point in time. So my 2023 goals, first off, was to sell books that don't fit in my collection so that I could start building up cash flow and finance a 9.8 CGC of NYX number 3. So I didn't sell any books at all because I'm not a seller, I'm a collector. So I find that's really difficult for me. But Gary B, casual comic book guy, okayed me this to sit in my collection. And this has taken like a massive stress off my head of a goal that I thought was achievable, but turned out to be really tough because every time I went to a con, I would see this book there in 9/8. I tried to negotiate with the sellers, but no bueno. Nobody wanted to budge on the prices. And then this year when I went to the con, again, they were there, but they were still at the ridiculous high prices, even though this thing's like cut in half. You can pick up a 9/8 for about $1,000 US. So anywhere from 1,000 to 1,300, and they were going for over 2,000. So now that Gary has gifted me this book, thank you, Gary, this has taken a huge load off. Have I accomplished that goal? Not really, but this is a good placeholder, and I like my books raw so I can read them, so perfect. So now a 9/8, a CGC book, I can take my time, and I can just be patient, and eventually it will materialize somehow, some way. So that one, tick. Collecting direct and newsstand editions of, I had two series that I was doing that on. Battlestar Galactica, the original Marvel. It's only got 24 issues in it. And my G.I. Joe collection, my 1 through 155. And that one's still ongoing, but every so often I come up with more. And I had a video that I posted before that I had found another 5 or 6 newsstand books. So that one's coming along nicely. So that's an ongoing. Can I put it on next year? Actually, I did. So even if you don't accomplish the goals, if you did part of the goal, it can just roll into the next one, which is something I've done. Setting up my basement comic book room. That was a goal for 23, and tick, done. I set it up and I had all my stuff in there. Another one, organize my magazine and my trade paperback collection, because it was just scattered all over the house. So I've got that all located in one location, took pictures of everything, organized it, check, done. And the last one, the number 5, was to upgrade my high-end books into better bags and boards. So getting some nice Mylar and putting all into good bags and boards. So I did all that. Tick. So I did pretty good for 23. My previous years, 22, 21, not so much. I was just, kind of getting into doing goal setting. So now for 2024, I've been thinking about it, and you can revise it. You can change it. It's not written in stone. Like, if these goals might change through the year, that's fine. But I just put them on a Word document and I stick them away, and once in a while I'll pop it open and look at it. But they're always in the back of my head. So for 2024, after I was on Matt Wood's YouTube show, we talked about legacies, families. And if, when we are gone, wherever we go, then our family has the burden of dealing with all of this and, what to do with it all. So my wife basically said, well, why don't you just put prices on the backs of the books? And I went, brilliant. So I went to a dollar store and I picked up a bunch of these little stickers, and I've been writing the prices, the current fair market value of the books, and then I put them on the back of the slab, or the books, these things. So that's a goal for this year, because I've got 7,000 books to go through. That's a lot of books to, and I'm not going to put them on every single book. I told her this. I said, the books that are like $2, $5 books, I'm only going to put it on the ones that are actually worth something, and most of those are going to be right here in my main comic book room or the basement comic book room. So that's that. And then I rolled in my direct and newsstand gathering of G.I. Joe and Battlestar into a goal. So that's number 3. So yeah, so number 1 was put the price tags. Number 2, for 2024, listen to this one, start a YouTube channel. So it's not even 2024 and I've already ticked one off, because I was planning to do that for the new year for 24, but I decided to do it on my birthday instead back in October. So that's ticked off the list. So price tag, start a YouTube channel. 3, direct newsstand. Number 4 is rebuild the basement comic book room, because I was getting a little annoyed because the ceilings, all the tiles, they were glued in and half of them have fallen off through age. The floors, everything's dated in that room from, I don't know, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, sprinkled through the different generations that people have messed with that room. So I want to just gut that entire room and basically start over. And I need to get some ideas on what I want to do. So that's going to be a goal for this year, is to take everything out of there and redo that room. And then my last goal, number 5, is to find a place for my card collection, right? Because I've been pulling out my old Mad cards, and I've got some Dungeons and Dragons cards, and I've got some of my little pewter figures. And then I started looking and I realized that I also got my digests. I got like a box of these things. You guys probably saw in one of my other videos, the Voices Choices, I had my orange Archie shirt because, as a kid at the grocery store with my mom or dad, I would be begging like a homeless person trying to get my hands on one of these things, because they were at every cash checkout. Either their money or my money, I'd be buying these, and I've got stacks and stacks of these things because they were great, because they dragged us all over the place camping, and they were portable, they were great, and I love reading this stuff. So I need a place for those and my card collection. So that'll be a goal for the new year. Probably when I set up my basement comic book room, I'll figure out something for that. So there you have it, just me sitting here yapping away about goals. So you guys can put in the comments section maybe some goals that you're thinking of. Maybe I inspired you to set yourself goals, or to, I don't know, figure out something that you want to do, or you put something in the comments that maybe I could do on my list, or make my list bigger, or should I tick off the one for the YouTube channel because I've already done it? But I'd already set that goal back in the summertime before I'd even gone ahead and did it. So I don't know. So now I got 4, which is, that's fine. So that's enough me yapping. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for stopping by, and throw down the comments, all that good stuff. So take care.